It's Monday, June 4th, 2018. And I don't know if you could hear it, but I've got terrible neighbors on one side of me that play bass too loud, and I got terrible neighbors above me that stomp on the floor. Can't help it. I live around terrible people. They're terrible, awful people. It's like, and they just won't stop being awful. So if you hear any random noises like that, it's just probably awful people doing awful things. But in this video, it's an Easy Gamer video. It's basically going to be E3 week and a half, and we're going to talk about EA. EA is going to be the first one of the major ones to do a press conference. They're going to do it at Saturday, June 9th at 11 a.m. So what do we expect to see? Well, I think E3, I think they should just basically do a 1 hour apology to the fans for how terrible they've been to the fans. But wouldn't you think that would be appropriate, though? They just come out for an hour and go, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry, the microtransactions, the competitive imbalance, right? We're sorry, we're so sorry. I mean, that'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious, even if they even spent like 5 seconds doing it, where they just come out and just go, we're sorry. We are really, really sorry. But honestly, I guarantee you, EA's not going to apologize for anything. They just won't. Video game companies usually don't like to admit fault. Definitely not at their big press conferences at E3. But what are we likely to see? Well, we're likely to see them talk about Anthem, Battlefield 5, Madden, FIFA. And of course, they're going to get... I don't know how they're going to dance around microtransactions. Battlefield 5 will probably have them. FIFA and Madden will have them. They always do. But I think the thing is going to be, does Anthem have them? And I'm sure EA will have them in there with Anthem. But do it the right way, where it doesn't affect competitive balance in the multiplayer side of it. And give us a full game, and if you want to put DLC later, we kind of have to be used to that by now. But I think I'm curious to see more about Anthem. I'm not that big into Battlefield, or I haven't played a Madden game in years, and I've never played a FIFA game. But I know that there are a lot of people that do. In fact, I think FIFA is their second biggest sports franchise, behind Madden, if it's not bigger worldwide. The FIFA kills it. The only weird thing is I look at the reviews of both of those games by fans, and they're given like 1 or 2 stars by a lot of people out of 5. People, it's like people seem to. I think they're really complaining about the microtransactions more than anything. And I think FIFA changed up a couple things that the fans really, really didn't like. I know that some of them, I stopped playing Madden when the Madden changed a couple things that I really couldn't stand. And so I stopped playing Madden, because it's like, if you're going to make things this ridiculously stupid, I'm not playing anymore. So I think that EA will lead in with that. Now, when EA does its press conference, I'll do a video of a reaction of their press conference. Now, what we could see, Anthem, Battlefield, Madden, FIFA, we're pretty much guaranteed we're going to see those. A game that we might see, a new Dragon Age game. Nobody's really talking about it. Nobody's really saying much. But I think the last Dragon Age game might have been 2 or 3 years ago. I can't imagine they're going to let that one sit and rest. It's a pretty popular series. Even though the last game had mixed reviews, I liked it. I liked the last Dragon Age game. But there were a lot of people that almost felt like it was, either too simplistic or too, I can't really think of it. I mean, I guess there was too much going on, and it wasn't really a good focused story. And I think that's what a lot more people wanted with their Dragon Age game. This one seemed to be a little thin on story and heavy on tedious exploration and grinding. So, but the Dragon Age series is something that we haven't heard much about lately. And of course, EA, most of its focus has been negative with Battlefield 5's little, thing about having the woman in the, World War II, and also with, of course, the whole terrible thing with, Star Wars Battlefront and the microtransactions. EA's been kind of reeling, and they've been putting out fires more than they've been doing anything else. I think we might also be likely to see a new Star Wars game come out of them. I think they're going to probably have to announce something Star Wars and be very careful with it. They're going to have to tread lightly, and they're going to have to make sure they explain to everybody what is going to be involved with buying this game, if it's going to be an online game only, or if it's a single player with an online component for co-op, and they're going to have to be very, very, very upfront about what the microtransactions will be, because they'll have them. They paid a lot of money for that Star Wars license. They're going to have microtransactions. But don't make Disney mad. You made Disney mad with Battlefront. Don't make Disney mad again. They're likely to pull that thing right out from under you if you mess up their, Star Wars. They paid billions for Star Wars. Now, they've gotten their money back. I think they paid like $4 billion or something like that for Star Wars. I think they've gotten their money back with the Star Wars movies. They've done all right in merchandising and everything else. Even the Solo film, I know it made over $100 million, and people are saying that's not a success. It's like, last I checked, $100 million in your opening weekend is pretty dang good, especially with no major bankable stars. It's like, to me, it's like, I think people just like overreact a little too much. I'm pretty impressed that it made over $100 million. I think it'll make its money back worldwide, and I don't think it costs that much to make, and I think it'll make its money back, and they'll be fine. Disney will make their money. But I think we're likely to, we could see a new Dragon Age, we could see a new Star Wars game. That could be maybe excuse me, a little surprise. What I'd like to see is a prequel to Mass Effect. Will we see it? No. Not as long as they have the Star Wars license. Mass Effect. Mass Effect is it's a sci-fi space opera, kind of like Star Wars. So you can't release a Mass Effect game with Disney, going, wait a minute, you're going to release a Mass Effect game and you have Star Wars? Why would you do that? So, yeah, I would like to see it, but I would like to see a Mass Effect prequel. I'd like to see something that tells the origin story more of Commander Shepard, maybe back when he or she was first starting out, maybe before they were actually Commander Shepard. That kind of leads up, because I think a lot of people would like to play as Shepard again, whether it's Fem Shep or regular Shepard. I think they'd like to play as Commander Shepard again. I know I liked Commander Shepard. It was I played it as the female character, Fem Shep, and I love the character. It was a great character. It was well written. I mean, not great as John Marston well written, but a well written character nonetheless, and great dialogue choices, was voice acted pretty well. I would love to see a prequel to Mass Effect where you get to basically still go back in time and still play as Commander Shepard, which would and it doesn't have to be a prequel trilogy. Just one good sized game, getting to play as Shepard again, to kind of get us back into that universe. And it doesn't really have to be it doesn't have to be all that stuff about the Reapers and all this other stuff that went on. Basically, it can just be, them getting better, or, Commander Shepard becoming what they were. Maybe fighting other battles and other wars and other places. And you can expand the Mass Effect universe this way as well. But will we see anything like that? No. It's my firm belief that as long as Electronic Arts has the Star Wars license, you're not going to see another Mass Effect game until that license is gone. And it also depends on how popular Anthem is. If Anthem does really well, then you may not see another Mass Effect game for 10, 15 years. It just depends on how good Anthem does, and it also depends on, because if you think about it, Anthem's kind of a sci-fi game too, so I'm not really sure how they're getting away with it. I don't know if it's total sci-fi or if it's just a little bit sci-fi with some. I don't know. I mean, the little bit I've seen, you're flying around in a cool looking suit, but does that really, were they already working on that before they got the Star Wars license, and that's why basically Disney has allowed them to continue to push forward, or has Disney even put any restrictions on Electronic Arts at all? That'd be the thing to me. But I still don't think you're going to see a Mass Effect game, because I think a Mass Effect game is too on the nose. This Anthem game almost seems a little Halo-ish to me. But, what do I know? I've never gotten to play the game, so I have no idea. So tell me what you think of E3. Do you think that EA is going to do an hour-long apology like they should to the fans? Or do you think that, they're going to... do you have any old EA game franchises that they might bring back and re-announce? Maybe we'll see a new Burnout game. We got a remaster of Burnout Paradise, so maybe a new Burnout game could be a surprise game that we see. Are you excited about any of the EA properties? Are you over EA because of just some of the dumb stuff that they've done recently? Let me know down in the comments below. With all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future. Thanks for the freedom.